He played for the Giants, but coached the Cowboys. To be effective, he remained emotionless, and some even refer to him as God's coach. You'll want to hold on to your hats for this episode of From the Vault, 60 Years of Cowboys History.
From the Vault, 60 Years of Cowboys History is brought to you by Lincoln.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of From the Vault. I'm Dana Jones, and if this is your first time with us, allow me to introduce Mary Padian from Storage Wars and Jonathan Thorne, the archivist of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Jonathan, you've mentioned before it's your job to protect the history of the Dallas Cowboys, which sounds like a very busy job with 60 years under our belt. But elaborate a little bit on what you mean by protect. Were any of these items at risk of being discarded? Tell us more about what you do.
Sure, I'm here to essentially collect, organize, and preserve all of the important things that tell our story. So, like these items in front of you today were somewhat threatened, and we were able to swoop in and save them and collect them and then take the necessary measures to preserve them for generations to come.
All right, well, let's get to these items. I tried to hint at who these belong to earlier, but so let's just jump right in. What books, obviously, are we looking at here?
Yeah, these are actually a few of Tom Landry's personal playbooks.
And they're handwritten, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And we also
Lots of
have
detail.
two of his sideline play cards, one from an October 1983 Philadelphia game that we won 37-7, and one from Tampa Bay in the same season. We also won 27-24.
Cool. So of these playbooks that you've seen, is there anything that stands out that he wrote, like a side note?
Not really anything personal, just a lot of technical adjustments.
Yeah.
So they'll go back and change things that worked or didn't work.
Okay, so I know that Coach Landry came from a background in defense, and he would really rely on that to come up with his offenses, which led to his creativity and successes behind that. Do you have any examples of plays or formations that exhibit this?
Sure, we have one open here, the 4-3 flex defense. He invented that. It was kind of the foundation of the Cowboys' doomsday defenses in the 70s. And then as time went on and teams would pick up on that, he actually ended up having to create a flex offense to defeat his own defense.
So like a game of chess.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
So I know he used sideline cards pretty much every game, and more so than most coaches, right?
Yeah, at the time it was kind of iconic to him. He seemed to always have one of those in his hand.
So what made them so unique? Anything?
These, I think it's just really unique that they're Coach Landry's, and they're actually all handwritten. So he'd sit down before each game, different colors, and the whole way they're laid out, to give himself mental notes of what plays to call in different situations.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Roger Staubach about Coach Landry, and he said the following. He was a real X's and O's guy. He liked to control things, and I was the wild guy, so I was just lucky that he put up with me. Coach said to him, I like your leadership skills, but I don't like your running. So it makes me think what he would think of our guys today, Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes, Cam Newton.
Yeah, I think he would embrace it. Whatever was happening in football, he was, going to innovate something to get an edge and be better. So, if today's game, that's the case, I think he would totally embrace it and find a way to win that way.
Yeah, sure.
Were there any in particular plays that stood out to Roger?
So the one that came up the most was the shotgun formation. And he kept referring to 1975 because that season they weren't expected to win anything, much less go to the playoffs. And they actually ended up going to the Super Bowl. They lost it, but Staubach credits Landry's creativity that got him there to begin with. So it was just a great surprise season, unexpected.
Yeah, they had 12 rookies they drafted that season, so they had to do something to give Rodgers some extra time back there.
Right. Mary.
Yes.
Now let's talk about value here.
Mike Ditka's playbook sold in 2015 for about $14,000. And then Jerry Rice's, which was from his rookie season from the 49ers, that sold for about $6,000 in 2018. And coincidentally, Tom Landry's playbook sold in 2015 for $6,000, which was from the 1972. So I would say probably each playbook now would be worth like $10,000.
Wow.
Not bad.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Sorry, that was terrible.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of From the Vault, 60 Years of Cowboys History, brought to you by Lincoln. I definitely want to thank Jonathan and Mary, and especially Roger Staubach. I'm Dana Jones. We'll see you next time.
From the Vault, 60 Years of Cowboys History was brought to you by Lincoln.